Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the 80th episode of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I am super excited that you're listening today, and I want to say thank you because it really makes me happy that I get to connect with you guys while you're driving or doing your makeup, exercising, whatever you're doing. I'm so glad to be here with you. And today I have a question for you. So, have you ever eaten really bad for an entire day or weekend or week, and your body just felt so lethargic and kind of slow, and maybe in some cases your joints even hurt on top of that? Well, I have, and I know how that feels, and I don't like it. But as I'm sure most of you know, it can be really hard at first to stop eating the things that your body is craving. In fact, I remember a few years ago, I saw that they were building a new Dunkin' Donuts building right around the corner from my house. For the record, I love donuts. Anyway, my brain was like, uh-oh. Now, why would my brain say that? Well, it's because I know that the last thing I need is a donut place right by my house that I have to drive by and consistently not stop. Now, I know you might be thinking, just lighten up and have a donut, Heidi. But you see, the problem is that the dopamine hit you get from one donut, because it combines sugar and fat, which makes it highly addictive, that can give your brain so much pleasure that every time you drive by that donut shop, it's going to want that same hit. And that's hard to resist, especially if you drive by it every day. Now, this is not an episode on junk food for your body, I promise. It's an episode on junk food for your brain. And the reason why I went through all that about the donuts is because what we feed our brain is as important as what we feed our body. In fact, it's becoming increasingly so, in my opinion. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love doing those little videos. They call them reels. So I did a reel about feeding your brain with uplifting messages and equating it to spinach for your brain. So if uplifting messages are spinach, then what would be the equivalent of a donut for your brain? I think it's probably different for everyone, but studies are showing that certain aspects of social media, the news, video games, pornography, give you the same dopamine hit as a drug, or basically a donut. And look, if I had a box of donuts with me everywhere I went, I would be twice my size. Most of us would never even consider keeping donuts around for that reason. Just wouldn't be good for us, right? But we don't think one thing about having our phone attached to us at all times. In fact, most of us would panic if we thought for 1 minute we didn't have it. Without even realizing it, we are allowing ourselves to become addicted to our technology. We have a dopamine hit waiting to happen anytime we want, just by opening that phone, or even worse, by looking at our watch. It's worse than having the donut shop around the corner. It's having a donut in your pocket at all times, but for your brain. Now, a lot of us grab our phone the first thing in the morning, carry it around in our hand all day, and then go to sleep with it at night. How many times have you been at dinner with someone and they spend time looking at their Apple Watch or their phone the whole night? How about grabbing your phone to start scrolling immediately when you stop at a light or you park the car? Is there ever a time you're sitting with nothing to do and you don't think about your iPhone? Well, I really regret having to say this, but the answer for me is probably not. And now I'm working on that, and hang in here with me because I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But in an earlier episode that I did with Alyssa Wilson, you may remember this. She told me that she deletes her social media accounts every single night and reinstalls them when she's ready to start doing business the next day. Now, this may seem extreme, but just like not keeping a donut in your pocket, if it isn't easily accessed, it lowers the chance that you'll partake. So making it difficult to access is important. Now, I've done this with both Twitter and TikTok myself, and Alyssa said that deleting these accounts early in the evening allows her to spend quality time with her family instead of thinking about her social media accounts. She just completely removes the temptation, and I love that. Now, Edmund Lohman, who I interviewed last week for Wednesday Wisdom, he does the same thing, except for he goes all day Sunday without any technology at all, which has given him really quality time with his family, and the peace of mind makes it worth it. Now, he did admit that it wasn't easy, but I know it will get easier as he continues. In fact, my guess would be he'll eventually look forward to the Sundays with no technology. We'll see. But I know that for me, there are certain things I can just sit and scroll through and read or watch or binge on without realizing how long I've been doing it. Remember that lethargic feeling that I was talking about earlier from overeating junk food? That's exactly how our brain feels after consuming large amounts of certain things like news or social media. And as human nature goes, I would justify it by saying, well, I don't want to stick my head in the sand, so I need to keep up with current events, which just isn't true for me. I was simply addicted to the drama and trying to distract myself. Now, sticking your head in the sand is very different from protecting your mindset. So sticking your head in the sand is ignoring something that affects you and you can control by addressing it. Protecting your mindset means guarding what you feed your brain. Just like you feed your body healthy food, you want to feed your brain with empowering thoughts and messages. It all starts with recognizing where you are right now. So are you addicted to your technology? Some of you may not be. Do you feel anxiety when watching the news? Do you feel bad about yourself when scrolling through social media constantly? Do you subconsciously reach for your phone when you have even 1 minute of free time? Now, I've started leaving my phone at home if I'm going to dinner with my husband or friends because I don't even want the temptation. I've deleted certain apps and muted certain accounts on social media. Now, the brain coach that I interviewed from Canada said it can be healthy to mute certain accounts if they make you feel bad. I've also arranged the apps that can be distracting to me on the last page of my iPhone, so it isn't always in front of my face, and I moved the ones that are empowering, like my Calm app or my podcast app. Those are all on my front page. That new upgrade we just got makes it really easy to do that. So now, my challenge to you this week: notice or be aware the amount of times you distract yourself by grabbing for your technology. Once this week, turn your phone off or leave it in another room when you're meeting with another person, like face to face. And finally, avoid your phone for the first 30 minutes when you wake up and instead grateful journal or meditate. And then turn off all technology a minimum of 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep. And while I'm on that topic, you do not want to miss my Wednesday Wisdom this week because I interviewed Dr. Bruce, the sleep doctor. He's been on Dr. Oz 39 times. He was on Good Morning America Sunday, and we'll be talking about how to set yourself up for the best sleep. And some of the things are gonna blow your mind. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.